Hi, I'm Kalyn Oyer. I'm the features editor at the Post and Courier, and today I'm here with...
Kian Masters, a member of Brave Baby.
And this is Bands on Bike Taxis Getting Beers. Thank you for joining me today, Kian.
Thank you
I
for
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a lightning round of questions.
Sure.
There's going to be street noise. It's going to be wild, but we're just going to have fun.
Great.
Okay. So my first question for you, we're going to take it back. What was the first CD that you ever bought?
The first CD I ever bought, it was actually a tape. I was at my sister went to school. I was like 5 or 6 years old. My sister went to school at NC State. She didn't like Raleigh and she wanted to show us Chapel Hill. So we were visiting. We went to Chapel Hill. We were at a record store and I bought Green Day's, I guess it was like Nimrod.
Wow.
On tape. Or maybe it was...
On tape?
Yeah, on tape. I had like a little tape cassette.
That's rad.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love it.
Rad. Thank you.
So, how did you first get into music? Like, what was the first instrument you bought?
I wanted to play guitar. I have a brother. I have some siblings that are like 12 and 11 years old, and I'm very close with, but, you know, I was always like, I think I'm going to get a guitar. And my brother Richard, when I was like in the 6th or 7th grade, was like, dude, everybody plays guitar. Get a bass. If you get a bass, you'll be like the most sought-after kid in your school.
Smart.
So I got a bass guitar in like the 6th or 7th grade. It was a crate bass combo. Eventually, I still got a guitar. Playing bass guitar as like a new musician by yourself in a room, and like there was no YouTube at the time, like not very fun.
Yeah. I can imagine. No. You're like, this isn't the melody to the song.
No,
but...
I didn't get it yet, but eventually, yeah, I do love the bass guitar.
Okay, so Charleston, what do you think is the best beach in Charleston?
Forever, I would have said Sullivan's Island.
Okay, why?
Just easy to get to, chill.
Underrated.
The waves aren't too strong. Folly can take some time. I do love Folly.
Yeah, Folly's a vibe too.
I've really come around on Isle of Palms.
Okay.
Believe it or not. I think the Windjammer's having a resurgence.
Pull from behind. Yeah, Windjammer's great bar.
And I kind of like that it's like a public beach. I like that people can like pull up, get parking pretty easily.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's a family beach. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. What is your favorite song from the new album?
I love this new song called GPS.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a sound that we've always like, it's definitely our sound. It's just like a new lane that we found that I think I'd love to continue exploring.
I like that.
And there's probably 2 tracks on the record that fill that void. There's another track called Fill Me In that's probably the second to last track. Kind of has like the same like heavy acoustic guitar, but the music is like dogging it in a cool way. That maybe we haven't done in the past.
Cool. So this is one that I really like to ask. So this is Bands on Bike Taxis Getting Beers.
Yep.
So the 3 Bs. And since your name's Kian, let's go with the 3 Ks.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite key to write a song in, kindred spirit in the music world, and your favorite kind of bread?
My favorite kind of bread? So my favorite key to write music in?
Yeah.
I think I write in A a lot.
Okay, key of A. Favorite kindred spirit in the music world?
I know it's not true, but I'd love to say Joe Walsh.
Okay.
I love Joe Walsh.
Favorite Joe Walsh song?
Life of Illusion.
Okay. Favorite kind of bread?
Sourdough.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for being on here with me. Thank you, Bryce, our bike taxi driver.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you.
We'll catch you guys next time on Bands on Bike Taxis Getting
Beers.
I'm here with 2 members of Brave Baby. So let's go and just introduce yourselves.
Wolfgang Zimmerman, drums, vocals, production.
Kian Masters, vocals and part of it.
Kian and I just went on the bike taxi ride.
That's right.
Had you been on a bike taxi before?
I have. I've been on a bike taxi like, you know, a dozen times maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Add it to the mix. Sometimes it's people's first ride when I go with them. So you're a vet. You're a veteran.
Yeah, I'm in.
I love it.
I've lived here a long time.
Okay, so this is Bands on Bike Taxis Getting Beers. We're drinking some beers. So
cheers.
What beers did everyone get? I think it's kind of obvious, but...
I got the Modelo Especial.
I got a Guinness out of nowhere.
A morning Guinness. And I got a Genesee, which is a Royal Classic. We're here at the Royal American. Okay, so we're talking the new album.
Yep.
So let's talk it. So it's going to drop this weekend, but once this video comes out, it will be out there for all the fans to go check out and appreciate. So what has the songwriting for this been like? It's been 9 years, right, since you've dropped an album officially.
Technically, yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want to age us, yes, it's been 9 years.
So how is this different from Electric Friends?
We took a break in kind of 2018 just to start our lives, and we were all we'd been on the road for years and just kind of
You've been doing it
somewhat at each other's throats, and we just needed a little break. And then 2020 we all kind of started getting back together and writing, but then it was the beginning of 23 we decided we were going to record an LP, and our guitar player was going through some different like panic attacks and things at the time, and he would show up a little bit late to sessions, and we figured out how to hack into his demos via AI. And so we started realizing because if we lost him, we didn't have enough hands for the project, and he plays like all the guitar and keyboards and bass and stuff.
Yeah.
So me and Kean realized we have like a ton of his instrumental he's sent us over the years, and so before he would get there, we would hack in his recordings with AI, and then we'd kind of like scat the vocals over it and come up with like scratch. Yeah. And then Christian would roll in and be like, "Hey, we're working on your song," and he'd be like, "Hell yeah, let's go." And then Kean would pace around in the parking lot taking real estate calls, and while Christian and I worked on the music, and then he'd come in and be like, "Guys, I got the vocals," and he'd hit the vocals. And pretty much whenever we did that, it took us, we probably got like 15 songs off that formula before we were like,
wow.
So, and then we chopped that down to 12.
So what has changed since 2015 for you? How is the writing different? The lyrics, how have they changed?
I think we used to sing like really individual stuff and kind of apply it to our songs, and then at some point we realized like we were all going through such similar things that whenever we write the lyrics, or especially Kean, he almost tries to channel all of our experiences. Like my partner that I was with at the time was going through cancer treatments, and so some of the songs have like that in it, or like, you know, I was having kids, and or you adopted a child, so like a lot of the songs are about being a parent, even, and so whenever we would try to talk and say something in the lyrics, it would sort of try to be speaking for all of us instead of individually.
That's interesting. How do you do that? How do you write from a place where it's not as personal, it's more this kind of group?
Well, it is personal, right? Because it's like, I love him or he loves me, and we've all been in it for so long. So like, it sounds lame, but like his pain's mine, and vice versa. So like you know, like you said, his partner 4 years. I love that person. I love him. And it's like, so we're all feeling it, and it's okay. It's the right thing. Or not to talk about that, but like even our own struggles, and we all have 26, 27. You know, if you're lucky enough to find your groove and find that path to kind of catapult you already, like God bless you. But sometimes you're still figuring out your yourself, and the difference now is kindness. We're all nicer. Yeah. We all recognize that like life's tough, and better together, and we understand each other. Once you find your group of dudes or persons, you know, gender aside, it's hard to recreate. You can always collaborate with new people, and it's really fun. Yeah. But nothing's like a good pair of shoes.
I love.
I like that.
I always say like I kind of feel like we were almost if we were trees or we were plants, we were sort of growing in each other's way a little bit, and we sort of had to be like spaced out, and then we grew so much that we all were close again.
That's interesting too. Yeah. Well, let's talk about too, because you have your own project, and kind of everyone was doing their own thing during this time. So, talk more about. Yeah. Let's give a shout out to your.
Well, even on this album too. Initially, there was none of my songs on it because we just wrote everything. And naturally, Kean writes really.
But that's the thing. We have to stop saying my songs, right?
Because it really is.
All, like we're all on them.
So last summer, Kean just was like, "Let's get in the car. We were going to see Easy Honey." Yeah. And on the way, he was like, "Just play me your favorite songs that you have." And he's like, "This isn't going to work if you don't give me your best songs." And I was like, maybe a little bit holding on to a few of them, like inside. And then Kean was like, "It's only going to work if you give me the best one." So I was playing him in like recently, Two Things at Once, and even Forever Man. Eventually, he was like, we're taking it. Sorry, this is a Bray Baby song, which is
As
cool.
soon as you heard recently, though, it's like, this song rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's not like I'm saying, hey, I want to sing, or hey, I want to put something that I wrote on the album. It's actually always been Kian who said, like, okay, this is now a Bray Baby track. Like, commandeer it.
Well, he's put himself in a position to give himself musically to people all day, every day, and which is amazing. But also, I think because of that, when it comes to writing songs, at least for Bray Baby, sometimes you're thinking about a lot of music all the time, whereas I'm like hyper focused on
Yeah, you're honed
this.
in on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one project.
But it doesn't make it any more or less important to one or another. It's just sometimes, you know, I imagine sometimes the last thing you want to do at the end of the day is listen to more demos.
No, that's the thing that, like, I record music for a living, and I would record whether or not people hired me to do it. And like, even there's been times where I'll be so booked up, and then if I didn't, if somebody canceled the day, I'm like, hell yeah, I just end up making stuff all day by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with making things, but yeah, sometimes it's just, and also you're a little bit better at kind of like, I don't know, Kian's always been the manager.
Yeah, we have our roles.
Yeah. Everyone has to have. Every band has to have the
Jordan's
the
our
manager.
steady hand.
Yes.
Steven grounds us.
Steven busts our balls.
Yeah, Christian's. Shout out to baby Naomi. She was born 2 days ago. We love you, Steve and Zoe. Christian's
Congrats to
like
them.
big picture sauce man. Ryan is the elevator. He takes it like, you know, from the ground floor to the top.
Let's talk about the Charleston music scene. You've been a part of it for such a long time now. How have you seen things change? And what is good about that change? What's bad about that change?
Stay good. All good.
What do you hope for?
Well, like the other day we opened up for Easy Honey, and 1,200 people paid.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, there weren't 1,200 people going to rock shows when we were headlining and things like that. And,
there's just more people.
More people,
More music
which
fans.
is always positive, and people that are just interested. I also say, like, we're really not. There's been some chippy competitive stuff from time to time, but we always stomp that out. Like, everybody's got each other's back. It's so fun being in the room with people and writing, and there's so many times, like, we'll give a chorus to somebody, or somebody's giving us a guitar line, or like, that's that's the spirit of it. And we're genuinely happy for anybody's success, whether it's our friends or ourselves. And I would say in that realm, it's very, very positive. And you know, and then I would say the negative is that it's so disconnected from the world. Like, most of the United States has no clue about Charleston. Most people have no clue what's going on. And
well, they know it as a tourist destination, but do they know the local music scene here?
yeah, and it's, you know, the town. Last year I went to see Tame Impala with Jim from Little Bird, and we were driving back and seeing Charleston from Mount Pleasant going into town and seeing all the apartment buildings and everything. I kind of had this moment where I had to update my iOS and see this place no longer as the sleepy, beachy town, and it's a city now.
Yeah.
And for better or worse. And you know, I think that's cool. Part of it is going to be, you know, guys like us, like, taking the mantle. And you know, even another thing I was going to say, we were talking about our band, like, breaking up for a few years or taking a break. Kian's always saying, like, don't stop making music with your friends and things. And sometimes I'll be recording some younger bands, and they'll be going through some ego stuff, and like, it'll be a Friday night at the end of the session, like, Kian, come over here, talk some sense into these guys. And Kian's like, hold on,
music scene mentor.
Yeah, like,
you're like, I've been through this. I can tell you what to do.
Yeah. It's not worth it. Like, and you can't see it at the time, and your ego's like, egos are beautiful, egos are awful.
But the ego cloud blinds and intoxicates all.
Yeah, it can really blind you.
Yeah.
And animosity too. Like, just talk to each other. You're given words for a reason. Like, use them.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Don't.
Or don't. Yeah. Learn when to shut up. Anyways, what else? That's it. Thank you. Thank this lady.
Thank you for being out at 8 a.m. this morning.
It was cool.